Hello and welcome to this week's Fortunes Hiding Down Under TV. I'm here with my co-host Nathan and I'm Dave. How are you, Nath?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. In a pretty happy and buoyant mood, actually. So yes, 2 wins on the bounce.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it has been.
Forgotten what that feeling was like?
Yeah. It feels like a fucking distant memory, really, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And then it's like buses, mate. 2 come along at once.
That's true. Hopefully there's a 3rd, 4th and 5th too with all the games we've got coming up in the next few weeks. So, yeah, should be good. Cool. So let's get into the game, I guess. Yep. What do you think? First half or the whole thing?
Yeah, I look at a lot of people have said the first half was a bit of a hard watch. Yeah, you know, we dug in a bit. I didn't think it was too bad. I thought... I'm going to give special praise this week for Thomas Souček. I thought from the off he was running around. He was well up for it, as he has the last couple of games, to be honest. We'll get on to his major contribution later on. But the telling point of the first half, I think, was the old penalty. Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it? What do you make of it? Because for me, it's always hard in live action, but when you look at the slow motion replay, it looked like Zuma's body was twisting away and he was trying to move his arm with it, but I guess it was away from his body. So for me, the ball hits him on the body first, and then his arm. Now I thought that was the rule, that if that happens, that's not handball. If your arm's in a kind of so he's got his arm out of the way. You can't reasonably anticipate that's going to come off the side of your chest and into your arm. Your arm, what you're going to do, dislocate it and flick it around the back of your ear. I was always under the impression that if it's body then arm, it's no pen. I'd like to see that analysed by one of these top ex-referees and stuff with the knowledge. But
well, to be fair, I didn't see the part that it hit him on his body first, but I always thought I thought he was doing everything he could to sort of get himself out of the way, but arguably, you've seen so many like that given. But it's lucky we got a good stiff Areola in goal, isn't it, mate? So it's fucking hell, he was brilliant. He was fucking brilliant the whole game. I thought
he was superb, and he made saves before that penalty.
He did.
But the penalty itself, I just had a feeling he was going to save it. Everton aren't confident at the minute.
No.
I think that Beto is, he's not been set in the world alight.
No, I think that's his first start. I think they said it was his first start. So
I just, my money was on Areola. I just felt something in the air.
Yeah.
Should we say?
In your waters?
In my waters, but what a save it was. Brilliant. Down low. I mean, that's a brilliant save.
Massive gamble, because actually I think he actually took the pen pretty well. Like he couldn't have put it too much further into that bottom corner, could he?
And that's what makes it such a great save, isn't it? You're taking a gamble on the direction, but or he's read it. Arguably he's out for it. And they paused for a moment, didn't they? Where VAR was taking a look. It was any foul movement on behalf of Areola. It's never good when a keeper saves a penalty and he's got to face it again. It's right. It's like a kick in the balls, isn't it?
It is, and it's so hard. Like do you do exactly the same thing, which I always would encourage people to do.
Probably.
But it's a gamble, isn't it? We didn't have to worry about that, did we?
So we go in level at the break. Maybe got away with one, maybe 2. There was probably a couple of good saves in that first half.
Was it in the first half that Areola made that save where he just pretty much ran in front of the ball and it ended up in his guts? Or was that the second half?
Yeah, I can't remember, but there was several really good saves.
There was some. I think there was a few of them that were probably a little bit overhyped, but don't want to take too much away from him because there was some fucking brilliant ones in there as well. Where you just going, how did he get to that?
Probably a couple where you go, if Everton weren't on such a bad run themselves, maybe they're sticking one or two of them away over the course of the 90 minutes. I mean, but so second half they come out. We weathered a bit of a storm at the start, but they obviously caught us with a good cross and a decent head.
Look, you got to give credit where it's due. It was a very, very good cross. It was a very good finish, but that goal to me was just like there's really poor communication there between Areola and Mavropanos. But I've watched it over and over again, and like I don't know how or why a player like Mavropanos, he had so much opportunity. Like he came from in front of him and then drifted away, and he didn't check his shoulder once the whole time. So you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like all he can be doing is watching the ball and forgetting about where his opponent is, and then you look at it again and maybe Areola could have come for it, but between the two of them, they should have been able to sort that out, I would have thought.
Yeah, look, Areola didn't move, did he?
No.
And I think, it's just, it's put to the side of him. It's just too quick for him, isn't it?
Yeah, it was well executed, so you've got to give it a bit of credit, but
he was on his line. Should he have come off his line and claimed it?
Yeah.
Like you say, we said over and over, the communication between the defenders and the keeper.
Yeah, well, it was on display there for all to see, wasn't it?
Less than desirable.
And we've seen other channels sort of say that like we're probably lucky to get Everton when we have. Like they're probably the only side that's got a worse record than us really in January or in 2024. And they couldn't hit a fucking barn door if they tried. I think they ended up with 22 shots or something like that for the entire game. And they could really only bury one, bar some really good saves as well. So,
but at 1-0, how did you feel? Did you feel shit? This is going beyond us?
No, I didn't really. No, because I thought both teams really in possession, especially when like we were trying to find that killer pass forward or just that forward ball to progress up the pitch. Both sides were just fucking terrible. Like we were absolutely butchering it. So you just think with that, there's got to be more chances in this game. So. Yeah, and it came along pretty quickly, really. In the end, didn't it? So,
it didn't make us sweat too long. Again, set piece, James Ward-Prowse.
Yeah.
Look, there's been a lot said about James Ward-Prowse in terms of his overall game and what he contributes, other than dead ball situations. I don't really know what to make of that at the minute. I mean, there was times at the start of the season where his running was really good. Is it the role he's being made to play? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But that dead ball, I mean. What a great corner!
Yep,
and Zuma's met that well, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. I mean, like he was sitting in and around Pickford's toes, and then he just drifted off him, and then just quick nut to the side, and it was gone. And then Pickford was just caught out, and I think if I'm right, it's gone. Someone was on the back post as well, and they just mistimed their jump, and it's just gone through that little hole, hasn't it?
It was well placed, wasn't it?
Yeah, he did it really, really well. And I didn't know that he played there before.
Yes, he was there on loan.
Yeah,
he was on loan at a few places, I think, at Stoke and Everton.
Yeah, I didn't realise that, but then he was trying to keep the celebrations down, so you're sort of like going, fuck, I should feel better about this, but
Hey, yeah, well, look, I think after the penalty, he certainly made amends, and and as I said before, I don't really think the penalty was his fault.
No,
a lot been said about Zuma's game. Yeah, but, he's come away one up there. He's not been made to pay for the penalty, and he's put the ball in the back of the net and got us back into the game.
Yeah.
So he's done all right, hey?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, look, I've been calling for his head, or at least a substitute from him for a little while now. But look, he's very serviceable. Yes, for that game, I can't really think of him apart from that penalty, which is harsh, where he's really put too much of a foot wrong. Can you?
No, not really. No, he wasn't really at fault for their goal. No. As you mentioned, sort of Mavropanos was possibly, had some role in that. And the keeper, maybe a bit of communication, but you can't say too much about Areola because what a game he had, and from that moment onwards at 1-1. A lot of good saves, isn't there?
Yeah, there was, and I guess some of them, like like I said before, I expect him to make them, because he is a very good keeper. There was one that it looked like he just sort of mistimed it, and at the very last minute, it's gone up to that back corner. He's just managed to tip that over the post. I thought that was fucking magic.
That was very good save.
Good.
And Souček poking that one off the line.
Fucking hell, yeah.
Right place, right time. But geez,
that was brilliant, right?
Say what you like about him. He's had a really good game.
Yeah.
And then we ride all that storm. And
there he is.
You want to talk about that goal?
Yeah, fuck, that was good, wasn't it? It was almost sort of all the people in the side. You think, fuck, like it falls to him, because it was over here. I don't think anyone would say that was where Goodison meant to put the ball.
Yeah, he's done the work there.
Yeah.
He's pulled that down. He's lucky he's in the space.
Yeah.
But you know, maybe that's just the state of play that Everton are in at the minute. And
that's right.
He's managed to find that space, and he's done what he needs to do and got that down and got that very nicely poised. And boy, did he hit it.
Yeah, it's like I've listened to a few pods this week, and you sit there and just go, "Fuck, do you reckon he'd ever do that again?" That particular, like, could he actually chest down and do that again, like through that amount of traffic? It's like, it's a fucking good goal.
Yeah, he's pulled it down very nicely, and look, he's got some skill in his locker, right? I know his first touch at times is woeful and whatnot, and he's been under a lot of criticism.
Yeah,
but there was one early on in the season where he sort of glided into the box and finished it. I'm not sure if he knew what was up or down by the time it hit the net.
Yeah.
But he's, over the years he's had some guile about him. So I'm not surprised that he's got that in his locker.
Yeah.
But he's at times he's Moises Fellaini, isn't he? The dogged, determined, dirty worker.
Get it done.
And I think he does that role very well. But occasionally he pulls something special out the bag.
Yeah, it was one of those things. I don't know what you were thinking about, like just as when we made the substitutions, but I was hoping that he took Ward-Prowse off. I didn't really want to bring on Calvin Phillips, though. I was hoping he'd bring Antonio on and then drop Paqueta into the middle, because I thought that would have been an interesting, even if it was just for 10 or 15 minutes. I'm not sure Paqueta's got 90 in him just yet, but just to see what else that actually brings, because, it's very seldom that you see Souček feeding decent balls through to our strikers to run onto, so it would have been nice to see Paqueta in that spot. But hey ho.
Look, I think when Phillips came on, he obviously pushed Souček up, and that actually paid dividends. So we can't complain too much. Look, Paqueta. Obviously, his presence has made a difference and it's lifted the team. Would you agree with me to say that maybe he's still doing what he's sometimes guilty of and sort of pissing around with silly passes and stuff like that?
Absolutely.
His game's probably not back up there on the peak yet, but just he's lifted us, isn't it? Everyone else has lifted their game. Yeah,
and it's what it does to our boys, but also the opposition as well. Like they're waiting for him to do something magic, but I think he was trying to buy too much. I think between him and Emerson, like they were relatively poor for the game. I thought they've definitely had better games where they've combined and been a lot more creative. But it's a fucking shithole, and it's not a good place to go. Very rarely do you go up there and see good football played from an away point of view. So I'm not really sure how much I take out of it, but for him, I think another 75, 80 minutes or so that he played. He got off without injury, so I'll take that as a positive more than what he did when he was on the pitch, right?
Yeah, look, it's really important to have got him back in time for the Europa League round of 16.
Absolutely.
I think, and now we're going into that with a bit of confidence and a couple of results. Yeah. I mean, how different is that to a couple of weeks ago where you're going, shit, we've drawn Freiburg again.
We're fucked.
We've beaten them twice, and we're not really winning at the moment. So maybe they're gonna have the beating of us. Now we go over there and we go, well, we've got to get something. I think we need to pick up something in that Europa League, and I think having Paqueta back, having a couple of wins under the belt, just changes the complexion of it completely.
Without question. I mean, I'm sure we were talking about it a few weeks ago. I don't think there was many of us thinking that we could actually get 6 points out of this next run of 4, being Forest, Everton, and who we played? It was Brentford and then Burnley. So to have 6 points in the bank, it's good to get Burnley at home. We should be fucking at them, really. Like, as I mean, they can go forward, but they can't defend for shit. So hopefully if we're at them early and get a couple in early, like we did against Brentford, like we'll have a good game, and then Freiburg either side of that, like we could be looking at 5 on the bounce.
Yeah, look,
So
I guess we're looking too far into the future. We haven't quite rounded off this game.
No, true.
There was a good goal, wasn't it?
Bowen
burst through and
he did, and Alvarez Alvarez had a fucking cracking game. I thought some of the stuff.
He's a quality player.
He's brilliant. The more I watch him, the more I think fucking you are absolutely phenomenal. But I tell you what, mate, I've never been so fucking gutted to see a goal go in.
Because you have money,
mate. Fuck my multi. Tomorrow,
mate.
I'm spewing 2-1 up, and I'm going happy days. Minute ride this out, cash in.
Look, you and I both predicted 2-1, so that was looking good for both of us. I didn't have any money on it, but mate, I've never been more happy than to see that third goal go in.
Oh yeah,
and it was lovely, wasn't it? Through nice, and just that little dink.
Yeah,
he's got
so intelligent, really, wasn't it? If Antonio's running onto that ball, he probably buries it in fucking Pickford's guts. It was an intelligent play, and look, I don't think there was another player on the pitch that was probably more deserving of it than him.
No, absolutely right. So a little bit of a worry with him at the moment is he's sitting on that sort of, if he gets one more league booking at the moment, he's up for a 2-game suspension.
True.
I was surprised he actually managed to come through that game without getting booked, didn't he?
Yeah, he was quite disciplined. And look, there was a few times there, like when he had 2 and 3 people around him, and in some circumstances he ended up on the floor. He's still trying to kick the shit out of the ball, and he actually came out of it with the ball as well. So. Yeah, he did quite well. I don't think it was actually too many yellow cards dished out in that game from memory.
He let a lot go. I think
he's not usually our fondest fucking referee, that Pawson, is he?
I'm not a fan of him, to be honest. But no, I think he managed to go through the whole game without getting a booking. I wonder if that's how long can he keep that up for?
Oh yeah,
and I'm not sure, but do you know, is there a point in which that expires? Where is there a date?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know,
because that's a long time to go to the end of the season without getting another yellow card.
Yeah, you're right. We've got 11 left.
Oh, look, who are we kidding? There's going to be a point in time where he gets that yellow card. I think, regardless of what that date is. The way he plays, his heart on his sleeve, and he's going to miss time a tackle, or he'll probably button his lip. Because there's been a couple lately. You go, well, you should have just
shut up,
and not got that, and probably not look into the future where he's in his current position. So he'll probably button it now. It's just when that missed time tackle goes in, which ultimately you put in 10 good ones, and one's going to go astray when you're getting through that much muddy work, isn't it?
Yeah, and you think about we've got Liverpool, Villa, City all coming up. I know City's the last game of the year actually, but the better sides is where that panic can slip in, because what Moyes likes to do against those sides is sit back and try and absorb pressure. There's going to be some big moments. So
I don't think it's panic. I think with him, right, is that especially in the way the team sets up the play, there's no secrets there. There's a lot of defending, a lot of dirty work to do. And I think that the amount of times that he has to put in that perfect tackle. It's just a numbers game. Ultimately, you're going to get one wrong. Everyone is. He's human. And over 90 minutes, that's why he usually gets a yellow card.
I mean, the only thing you can think that might possibly save him is if we do go back to that single pivot, and that becomes Calvin Phillips, and then he's playing more of a box-to-box role. But I think we're clutching at straws there. It's just going to happen. And
see how that goes.
When it happens, you just got to accept it, really, don't you, and move on, and hopefully the damage isn't too much. But
So look, I mean, I'm buzzing. 2 weeks on two wins on a trot.
Been a long time, as you said.
It feels good. Freiburg we've got coming up. I'm sure we'll do a pre-match show on Thursday.
Yeah, we will, Thursday night.
We are doing a Brisbane Hammers meet at Jimmy's in the Mall. So if any Brisbane Hammers are watching and you want to pop down, 6 a.m. kickoff.
Should be a bit of fun.
It'd be good. It'd be good to see people along. I'm, for one, I'm looking forward to that Europa League, but we'll touch more on that on Thursday.
We will.
Anything more to add, mate?
Oh, look, just don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already.
We haven't mentioned Kingy on his trip.
We haven't yet, no. But hopefully he'll be in on Thursday with us. He'll be in the morning over there, but I don't know if he'll be travelling that day or the day before, because he's going to the Freiburg away game. So it'd be good to get a bit of a travel vlog from him about how things are going, because we've seen a few things, and he's done a bit of singing in the Cavern Club or wherever it was he was up in Liverpool.
Mate,
bit of twist and shout.
I think that's going to be a top trip over to Freiburg. I think he's going to love that.
Oh, that'd be an experience.
Yeah, and great. He's gone up to Everton and got a win under his belt away from home. So
what's that Aussie vibe that's going over there?
That's it. Yeah, we go over and
hopefully he can see a few more as well.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're done here.
We are. One thing left, isn't it?
Come on, you irons.
Go on, you irons.